Good afternoon, soldiers. I am Corporal Singleton, and I will be teaching class over 071-Charlie Oscar Mike 0815. Practice noise, light, and litter discipline. Before we get started, a few hazards and concerns about the area. We have sharp corners on the furniture, so be mindful when walking around the training site. This part of the training site, I have a knife set. It's out of the pathway, so that you should not be in there, so don't go in there and play with knives. Around the room, we have outlets that are covered up. Don't go uncovering them and sticking your fingers in them and sticking stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. And then previously, we had some candles lit to lighten the room. There's still hot wax in there. Don't go knocking that over and burning yourself or others. So just be mindful of that. Also, before we get started, I'm going to have you lay out all your PCC stuff I asked you to bring. So everyone lay out your pen, paper, cat card, red lens flashlight, and canteen. Go ahead and lay that out. Okay, thank you. Y'all all have y'all's items. Sweet. And now I'm going to read you the task conditions and standards for today. Task. Practice noise, light, and litter discipline. Conditions. You are a member of a mounted or dismounted element conducting a tactical mission and have been directed to comply with noise, light, and litter discipline. Enemy elements are in your area of operation. Some iterations of the task should be performed in MOP 4. Standards. Prevent enemy from locating your element by exercising noise, light, and litter discipline at all times. Disregard the MOP 4 for today's scenario because we're not going to be using MOP 4, but in some iterations it will be required to use MOP 4. Okay, performance steps. Exercise noise discipline. Avoid all unnecessary vehicular and foot movement. That means is exactly what it says. Don't be driving your vehicles around if not needed to, and reduce all walking throughout the night and throughout the day to reduce your noise discipline so that you can not be ruffling leaves or ruffling dry grass out in the field and the training area. Secure metal parts to prevent them from making noise during movement. So this could be your dog tags, this could be your sling on your rifle, anything metal like a canteen cup even, so that would be making a lot of noise. Note, do not obstruct the moving parts of weapons or vehicles. So like your sling, you don't want to tape it to your weapon. You want to be able to access your sling so in case you need to throw it on, you could have your sling ready to go. Avoid all unnecessary talk. Minimize your talking at night. Don't be talking with your battle buddy up really late and talking like super loud. You want to minimize all talking at a minimum. Only use the radio when necessary. So kind of keep the net clear unless calling up reports or radio checks. You don't want to be communicating, like having conversations over the radio a lot. Set the radio volume low so that only you can hear. So with us being tankers, we'd set our J boxes and loudspeakers low. And then for people who are dismounted, they would set their radio volume actually low so that they could only hear it whenever they're dismounted. Then use visual techniques to communicate. So that'd be like hand gestures such as for come here and go away, and then mount up, and for this is halt. Just like simple hand gestures like that could be used as a visual communication technique. Exercise light discipline. Do not smoke. Note, the smoking of cigarettes, cigars, and etc. can be seen and smelled by the enemy. So if you're out in the field and you're vaping or smoking a cigarette or a cigar, the light from your cigarettes can like let the enemy know where you're at. It could like produce that light from the fire of your cigarette. And then also the smell of all those, the smoke smell is like very distinct and it's out of place in the field. So definitely try to minimize your smoking out in the field. Conceal flashlights and other light sources so that the light is filtered. So yes, we have a red lens flashlight to conceal the white light in it. However, you can still see the red lens flashlight. So the best to minimize it, have a poncho, throw your poncho over you, and use your red lens flashlight whenever reading something or taking notes to like help reduce the light. Cover or blacken anything that reflects light. So headlights during the day reflect light super a lot. So you throw like dust on them to help like not reflect it as much. Same as like metal on vehicles. And also for us like being tankers, we have our periscopes that definitely reflect light. So you can throw like a dusting over that to help minimize the reflection off of that. Conceal vehicles and equipment with available natural camouflage. So you're in a wooded area, right? If you're in the wooded area, you could go cut down tree limbs and throw that on your vehicle to help like camouflage your vehicle. But you don't want to have tree limbs if you're out in the middle of the field with no trees. And you don't want to have dead tree limbs and like dead leaves in an area where the trees are all green and like super like heavy, like new. You don't want to have dead leaves on there. Exercise litter discipline. Establish a litter collection point when occupying a position. For example, empty food containers. So when you're eating an MRE, don't throw your trash everywhere. Put all your MRE trash back in your MRE bag and take it to collection point. Same with ammo. If you're done uploading ammo, take your ammo boxes and ammo cartridges over to the litter collection point. Verify all litter has been collected in preparation to leaving the position. So at the end of today's class, we're doing a police call to make sure we don't have any litter or anything laying around. So you can do the same out in the field. Before you leave an area, pick up all your trash so that the enemy cannot come through and know that you were there. Take all litter with you when leaving a position. So yes, you may pick up the trash, but where are you going to put it? Put it in a trash bag, throw it in someone's truck, and make sure that it gets to the correct spot to dispose of it so that the enemy cannot know that you were in that one position. Because you can leave bags of trash there in the one point, but the enemy can come through before that is ever picked up. So you want to go ahead and take that with you and dispose of it correctly. Alright, do y'all have any questions as of now? Okay, y'all have 5 minutes to practice before we start going to eval. I will walk around. If y'all have any questions, just ask me. Your 5 minutes begins now. Okay, time's up. Practice is done. Before we get into evaluating, I'm going to read y'all the task conditions and standards. The task is practice noise, light, and litter discipline. Conditions. You are a member of a mounted or dismounted element conducting a tactical mission and have been directed to comply with noise, light, and litter discipline. Enemy elements are in your area of operation. Some iterations of this task should be performed and mocked for. Standards. Prevent enemy from locating your element by exercising noise, light, and litter discipline at all times. So you are going to be evaluated on your ability to comply with noise discipline, your ability to comply with light discipline, and your ability to comply with litter discipline. You now have 10 minutes to conduct your evaluation. I'll be walking around and evaluating y'all all individually. Your time begins now. Evaluation is up. As of this time, we have 4 trained soldiers and 0 untrained. So I will report that up to my leadership. And for any of y'all that are untrained, which we have none, y'all's retrain date will be this Friday, the 28th of August, 2020 at 09 in this exact same location. Uniform is OCP's, same items to bring. Your canteen, cat card, paper, pen, and red lens flashlight. Real quick before we move any further, get up and we're going to do a quick police call. Please call up any trash and all your PCC items. We're going to do a quick hand-on evaluation of your PCC items after we do the police call. So go ahead and police call real quick. Okay, police call is complete. Alright, so get y'all's PCC items out. I'm going to do a quick hands-on evaluation of that, make sure nothing's lost, broken, or damaged. Okay, none of y'all's stuff is lost, broken, or damaged, so I'm going to mark that down real quick. Okay, now we'll move into the AR. What was supposed to happen today? I'll read through my outline exactly what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to greet y'all, introduce myself and the task at hand. I was supposed to give y'all a brief risk assessment. I was supposed to go over the PCC items, inspect those, make sure y'all had those. I was supposed to read y'all the task condition and standards for today. Go through in detail the performance steps, saying all notes, cautions, warnings in order. I'm supposed to ask y'all if y'all had any questions and then give y'all 5 minutes to practice. After the practice, I was supposed to restate the task conditions and standards and then brief y'all over the evaluation procedures, give y'all 10 minutes to be evaluated. Then I was supposed to end the evaluation stating if any of y'all were trained or untrained, reporting that up to my leadership, giving y'all feedback on when the retrain date was if y'all were untrained. We were supposed to police call and then do a PCI check, which has led us to where we are now with the AAR. So what actually happened? What went right and what went wrong with today's training? How do I improve the training for next time? Thank y'all. I got some really good points back from that. Quick summary of the AAR. What was supposed to happen? I just went straight through my outline explaining what was actually supposed to happen for today. Whether I did or not, that was what was supposed to happen. What actually did happen? Y'all let me know whether I followed through with my outline 100% or if I missed a couple steps. What went right and what went wrong with today? Y'all nailed that right on, giving me some great feedback. And how do I improve the training for next time? I really appreciate all y'all's feedback for all of these questions for our AAR. So real quick before we wrap it up, we're going to do a quick reassessment of the risk steps. Was anybody injured today during our training? No injuries, so that is good. So all of my controls were implemented correctly, so that is very good. Okay, all my paperwork looks like it's in order. So y'all are now relieved back to your first line leaders to complete all your tasks done for the rest of the day. I am now requesting to close out my training site.